Hola, hola, ¿estamos listos? Estamos listos. Buenas tardes a todos, bienvenidos sean todos. Welcome to this special edition of ACC Live, celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month. My name is Alejandra Polchik, and I'm the manager of Hispanic Outreach Projects here at the best community college in Texas, Austin Community College, ACC. And I'm joined this afternoon by Dr. Gary Moreno, professor of history and director of El Centro Latin American Studies Center here at ACC. Muchísimas gracias, Dr. Moreno, por estar aquí. ¿Cómo estás?
Gracias, Alejandra. Thank you. It's a pleasure. I'm looking forward to this conversation, chatting with you and our viewers about ACC's commitment to, supporting Hispanic students and, everything that we're putting together here for National Hispanic Heritage Month.
I've been looking forward to this conversation as well, Gary. Before we get started, will you please help our viewers get to know you a little bit more? Queremos saber un poquito más de las estrellas de ACC, de aquí de Profesor Moreno. Por ejemplo, let's start with the first one. ¿De dónde eres? And how long have you been working here at ACC? Platícame un poquito.
Yo soy de Los Angeles, born and raised in East LA, believe it or not, back in the 80s. But my parents, both of them, both sides of my family go back to Jalisco. Although my parents did spend some time on the border. My mom was actually born in Mexicali, and my dad spent a lot of time in Tijuana. So, I have family on that side of the border as well. But our roots go back to Jalisco, central tequila country, charros, all that stuff, all that great stuff, mariachis
El corazón de Mexico, ¿no?
Right. It's really built into our DNA. And, if you come into my office, you'll hear an eclectic mix of music, but you're definitely going to hear a lot of mariachi music.
Mariachi music is classic music para mí. Es música clásica, es hermosa. How long have you been working here at ACC, Dr. Moreno?
I've been working here just a little bit over 2 years. I'm beginning my third year now. So, I had spent... I'm not from Austin originally, right? So I came via Oklahoma. So I am a Sooner, for those of you guys that are UT fans.
Ay, qué bueno que te viniste para acá.
You know what? I really enjoy living here in Austin. It's definitely better than where I was before. I'm not going to talk smack about Oklahoma too much, but I do really enjoy this city.
But UT Austin has this rivalry with Oklahoma, ¿verdad? Son grandes enemigos aquí.
Right. And so I try to go out with my OU gear from time to time, but I do it very on the down low because, I know how passionate people can be about UT here. But, it's great that we send a lot of our students out there. So claro. It's a great institution. And I don't root against UT. Is what I'm trying to get at.
We are Riverbats primero, ¿verdad?
Primero, right? Yeah, for sure. So yeah, I've been here as the director for 2 years. I also teach history. I teach U.S. history and I teach Mexican American history. So my role is kind of a double role.
And you're forgetting the most important role of all of them. You're a mentor for Ascender.
Right, second year doing that, and it's really a great thing because it gives you so much exposure and access to these Latino students, and you get to really delve deep into the particulars of 1 or 2 or 3 students, and that's really helpful to them, and I think it's really helpful to us as instructors. We see a lot of ourselves in these students, claro. And I think we want to help them avoid some of the pitfalls perhaps that we experienced in our college education.
It's kind of like a mission, right? Una misión. What do you like? Why do you like working with ACC students? What is the best thing about working with ACC students?
I think just young people in general, man. They have so much energy and so much potential. They're at this great place in their life where so many things are new to them, right? And they look forward to the future, and that kind of energy it's se te pega,
Claro.
And that's why you want to be around these kids, and that's why you want to be around these students, more traditional. But even the non-traditional students are excellent at they bring so much experience, and I love having older students in the classroom because they're not shy about asking questions. They're oftentimes the first ones to raise their hand and to talk about their experiences. So I love just working with the ACC student body.
Es muy inspirador. They inspire me so much. I've been here at ACC for 15 years and at running Ascender for 8. And thank you so much for being a mentor and being a professor for Ascender. And I am like you. I feel like it's contagious. I mean, the best part of my job is working with students and see them grow, see them evolve, see them going places, and it's like is the motor of my job. I mean, that's why I'm here. I mean, me encanta verlos que crecen, que son luchadores. Me gusta muchísimo. Y
So
sí,
let me ask you a couple of questions, Alejandra, because I think we're on the same vein here.
ajá.
How long have you worked at ACC, and what different roles have you worked in?
Pues te digo, 15 años. I came from, well, I am born and raised in Chihuahua, Mexico. A lot of people make fun of people from Chihuahua because they say that we pronounce their she, like Chihuahua. It's like it's puros vaqueros en Chihuahua, muchos ganaderos. It's
So that's not true. That's not true that people from Chihuahua pronounce the she differently.
I never noticed until I moved here. People start making fun of me.
Really?
And there's even a song by Christian Nodal. It's called La Muchacha de Chihuahua. It's a new song. You can check it out in TikTok. It's very like in vogue right now. But yeah, I don't know why. But I am very proud to be from Chihuahua, the land of the Raramuris, the Apaches, the Comanches. A lot of tribes live in the forest there, and los Tarahumaras or Raramuris is a tribe that they're marathon runners. Like they compete in international marathons, so it's because les dicen los pies ligeros, light feet. And bueno, I don't run, but I'm very proud of where I'm from. And I've been here at ACC. I moved to be a Spanish teacher, but unfortunately, the school where I was working, it got closed. So I started here working at ACC, helping translating marketing materials for the college because we wanted to get Hispanic serving institution status. And 8 years ago, they commended me this program, Ascender, and I love it. I love running Ascender. I love seeing my students and celebrating our identity and opening the doors of our culture to our students. I mean, this status of HSI opened the door not only to Hispanic students, but to all of our people, all our communities, welcome to enjoy the facilities, the resources, the wonderful professors here in Austin Community College. O sea, gracias a este status podemos disfrutar de muchos recursos que la institución no tenía. Es una designación, it's an honor to be part of the Hispanic Serving Institution status in the nation. And also we're part of the Seal of Excelencia, ¿verdad, Dr. Moreno?
Okay, for sure, very sure. And you know what, you do a great job working with the students at Ascender. Just as a mentor, let me tell you, you're doing an excellent
gracias.
So definitely a model for all of our students. So what do you like working with those ACC students?
Pues I like that their personalities. I like that they are fighters. I like that they are no se rinden. I mean, me encantan nuestros estudiantes because I mean they have they come with different challenges, but at the end son luchadores y ganan. They win their own battles, and sometimes they don't know what they don't know, and when we show them that, híjole, it's marvelous to see that. Me encanta, me inspiran muchísimo estar con ellos y Me encanta. Something fun that I love about working with students is that they keep me uh, updated on music, on places, on classes, on resources, y me encanta trabajar con ellos, me encanta que aprenden, me encanta que they share what they learn in class. Es muy bonito.
Yeah. No, I agree that we have some excellent students here. So yeah.
Sí, y volviendo al centro, al Latin American Studies Center, platícanos un poquito qué pasa ahí, qué sucede en el centro, cuál es la misión, what is the mission of el centro?
The mission of El Centro is, we actually changed our title recently. It used to be the Latino Latin American Studies Center. It's a little confusing because it was like a lot of names. It was El Centro, the Latino Latin American. So I dropped the Latino because, Latino is a gender term. It could be Latino, Latina, Latinx, right? So we just dropped that and simplified it to Latin American Studies. I think it's easier to understand that way. So we're really an interdisciplinary center. I'm with the history department, right? That doesn't mean that just history goes on here. I have people here right now outside who are welders, people who are IT people, and they just come, they utilize the space. And so we're really here to support those students, and those students who want to appreciate and learn about Latin American history, their own history, their culture. That's what we do here. We foster that, and so I always have old movies playing out here. I don't think anybody watches them but me. But it's a space for us to come together and hold events. We just had an event last night downstairs here at the Riverside campus. We had the author Ruben Degollado. He came, he talked to our students. It was very intimate. It was very awesome. And so that's the kind of stuff that we do. We have another thing coming up here on October 12th. We're going to have a movie over at Highland. It's called Bird Watchers. It's about, I believe, indigenous people down in Brazil.
Oh, how interesting.
Right.
Me encanta que I love that you're part of our community of professors here, and then you're sharing all of this, toda esta riqueza cultural, because Mexico is not only one, and Latin America is not only one. It's a plurality of things, of colors, of flavors, and me encanta que the students have a place to talk, a space where they can share, their commonalities, their inspiration. Me encanta que tengan este apoyo en nuestra institución. Thank you for being with us. And
it's my pleasure.
Te quería preguntar, dijiste que I wanted to ask you more about Hispanic Heritage Month. I mean, for us Latinos, Hispanic Heritage Month is all 12 months. I mean, I celebrate being Latina every day. I mean, that's when I try to say to my daughters, like, when you see yourself in the mirror, what is your superpower? You are Latina. So that's what, like, I tell my daughters. And there's this saying very popular that in a world of Kardashians, try to be a Calo. So I think that for us Latinos, is like we breathe Latinos, our identity, and we celebrate that every day. But for these purposes, so you developed several events for Hispanic Heritage Month, right? El Centro. Can you please tell us a little bit about it?
Well, like I said, we had that author event with Ruben Degollado last night. That was really cool. We had Casa Colombia, empanadas. So,
ay, qué rico.
Yeah, they were delicious. I had never had them before. So, and that's what we really want to do. We're more than just tacos, right? We're more than just, like Dr. Joe Biden was reminded recently, right? The Latinos are very a big variety of people, right? I think sometimes people have this image of what a Latino looks like in their mind, and then they realize that we're so much more complex than that. There's white Latinos, there's black Latinos, right? There's Latinos who are more indigenous, right? So, but we have those events. We had that event last night. We also have the Bird Watchers that's coming up on October 12th at the Highland. It'll be at, oh, wait, no, that's going to actually be here. I'm sorry, I misspoke. That's actually going to be here as well at the Riverside campus. So, beyond that, though, we hopefully, talking about extending the calendar beyond Hispanic Heritage Month, I think is a good topic, right? Because right after Hispanic Heritage Month, we got, Dia de los Muertos coming 2 weeks after that, right? So
Claro.
there's going to be ofrendas, and you're going to be part of that as well, right? So what
Sí.
ofrendas that you've put up before?
Sí, vamos a hacer, we did ofrendas in 4 campuses in the past, and the students have the opportunity to put photos over there. The mentors for Ascender come also and help us decorate. We try to respect the levels. It's kind of like a pyramid, and so we are very excited to celebrate Dia de los Muertos. It's celebrating life and celebrating the life of a loved one who passed to a better life. And so I invite everybody to check our websites, austincc.edu/ascender, and also El Centro, por supuesto.
Sí.
We have a bunch of events coming up, and it's a wonderful opportunity, not only for the students, but also for the community to participate in these celebrations. And to wrap this conversation, I want to ask you something. What is ACC ongoing commitment to making sure, it's a kind of long question, we help our Hispanic students and all students, not only Latinos, to be successful in their college journey?
I think our commitment should be to prepare our students for the workforce here in Central Texas, right? And that's going to be different for each individual student. They're going to have different circumstances. They're going to have different kind of deficiencies, maybe perhaps in going out to the workforce. And so we have to prepare our students in whatever manner that suits them to go out and be productive citizens. But there's programs like Ascender, right? That also shows, I think, ACC's commitment to the Hispanic community, and the work that you're doing with, our Latino students is great. And El Centro, right, is also another one of those resources. But we have student clubs as well, like the Latinx Student Union, so that should kind of guide you through the whole process of your experience from Ascender to LXSU to El Centro. Like, that's kind of what the commitment of the leadership has been. And then there's other things, like just a few days ago, there was a mural unveiling of Amado Peña, right, down at Highland. That was awesome. And there's other things like the Sam Coronado exhibit just above the and that really shows, that really validates the contribution of people in our community when we feature that at our campuses. So I'll tell you this much, though: we do need to hire more Hispanic teachers. And we do need more Hispanics within the leadership. That's something
urgentemente.
That's something that I hope people upstairs take into, and I think they are pretty conscious of that. I think they are pretty conscious of that, but it's going to take some work to get there.
Poco a poco, I see progress. And I'm hopeful because I see our students and I see our Ascender students going places, and hopefully, in one of these days, perhaps they're going to be our supervisors, Dr. Moreno.
They're going to be getting paid the big bucks for sure.
Okay. Una pregunta más. What is your favorite thing about our culture?
So you've been at a couple events with me, and you know that I'm a fashion historian, right? So I love to look at the fashion, and I love to make comments. My students know this as well, that I'm obsessed with it. I don't dress particularly fashionably, but I just love to look at the way people are dressed historically, and just kind of break it down. And so I think for some people it gets annoying.
No.
My wife.
It's another way of expression. It's wonderful. It's wonderful.
There was a friend one time who was I was trying to, oh, look, that person's pants, they're charro pants. And they're like, they looked over at me and they were like, man, you see charros everywhere. And I'm like, that's really true. At least for like 10 years of my life, that's the only thing that I was obsessed with, charro and charro fashion. So
that's amazing. I love it. If you want to learn more about it, please visit El Centro in Riverside. My favorite thing about our culture is our food, our comida. Me encanta nuestra comida. And me gusta la comida mexicana. I like Mexican food in particular because it's not only one Mexico, it's several Mexicos and it's several tastes and it's several flavors and colors and textures. Me encanta la comida mexicana. Pero ahorita con Hispanic Heritage Month se me antojan unas enchiladas verdes suizas muy ricas.
That's a good choice.
Pues los agradezco muchísimo a todos los que están aquí. Thank you so much for seeing us here on Facebook Live, and I hope to see you in more of our events. Please check our calendar of events at Ascender and also El Centro. Muchísimas gracias por su atención.